Hello, Ollie again with Free Your Zen. I'm freezing cold. I'm not really, it's quite warm actually. So, I was in a bar with someone last night and we were having a conversation. We were talking about love and relationships, romantic relationships, and how we're talking about the phenomenon where you fall for somebody, you feel it, it's like a physical sensation, like you're on a drug, and then you go through this phase of being almost drunk in it, being drugged up. The passion is there. You get the butterflies when you think about them, when they call you, when you call them, when you speak to them, when you're with them, you feel the physical sensations like you're actually on a drug. But we were talking about how this seems to diminish in intensity over time, and naturally that seems to be when relationship struggles crop up, is when the passion isn't as strongly there. You seem to make assumptions and think it's the relationship's fault, etc. And it was quite an interesting thing to talk about. It was a really interesting conversation, enlightened a lot for me. And it made me think actually. I read about this phenomena a while ago in a book called The Happiness Hypothesis by Jonathan Haidt. There's a D and a T there and I can't pronounce his name. Haidt, whatever. Jonathan Haidt, that sounds horrible. But essentially he was talking about this exact thing. So there's two types of love. There's passionate love and there's companionate love. So passionate love is the stuff that brings people together, it bonds you. It's that kind of like intense sensation, that intense feeling you get. The thing that can feel like it's a drug, essentially. And companionate love is the kind of love that's built on a strong, solid foundation of trust and mutual understanding and empathy and all that stuff. So generally in relationships, because this is two types of love, it's not as if passionate love turns into companionate love. They're two different types of love altogether. So passionate love is the thing that bonds you. It's the really intense stuff. It's the kind of love that means that when you are just with someone and when you first get together, you're like having sex all the time and all that stuff, and it's crazy. You just like sort of you melt into each other really often, and that's passionate love essentially. And companionate love is the other one, the one that's built on trust. And the thing is, when most relationships, it's true, it's an actual documented phenomenon that occurs in people, is that the passionate love lasts however long. It varies from relationship to relationship, but when it starts to diminish in intensity, most breakups occur in this phase. And now for a lot of the time, that's a good thing, because if you didn't have the companionate love foundation underneath it to support it, then you're just not right for each other, and that's true. That's fine. You've dodged a bullet, as it were. However, sometimes this is premature, because sometimes breakups occur, and if those same relationships would have just hung on, it would have built a solid foundation and continued. But most relationships tend to suffer the most difficulty in this phase. Now, companionate love is the foundation. Now that tends to build slowly over time the more people are with each other. That's why you can meet old couples that have been together for like 50, 60 years, etc. Because and they've managed to compromise and trust each other and work out the troubles together and build a life together. It's because companionate love builds gradually over time. Now, in this conversation I was having last night, she came out with a really fantastic, helped me with a really fantastic analogy. Now think of passionate love as the flame in a fire. Think of love as a fire, right? And now passionate love is the stuff that's where you get it going initially. Paper, little bits of wood, loads of it. It tends to burn quite intensely. It's quite hot, and the flames are all over the place, and it's like a roaring kind of fire, And think of companionate love as the kind of fire you get when you burn coal, right? So we start a fire, loads of paper, loads of wood, it burns brightly, yeah? It's really obvious. It warms everyone up in the room and all that stuff, and it's really, really noticeable. But then again, over time, if you don't add the coal on there, then or the big bits of wood, shall we say, then the fire dies down, and if you don't have the stuff to support it, it dies out. But a fire built correctly, a fire built well, a really effective fire, which is an analogy for an effective relationship, you start out with all the wood and all the paper and all that stuff. It burns brightly, but then you add coal one by one, bit by bit over time. So when those initial flames die down, you're left with a deep, hot, burning fire that's a lot lower. It's not as loud. It doesn't say a lot for itself, like in terms of, look at me, etc. But the solid foundation is there. It's warm and it lasts a lot longer, and it provides a lot more sustenance for the people around, and you can cook on it and all that stuff. Okay, the analogy is getting a bit out of control now. But yeah, the person I was with last night, She also said, occasionally though, chuck a little bits of wood on there, a couple of bits of paper, if you want the flame to burn a bit brighter every now and then, of course. You know, no relationship has to be without its passions. And I was like, brilliant, 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 brilliant addition. So thank you very much, Lima. that was her shout out. I said I'd give her a shout out. So that is the video, guys. The difference between passionate and companionate love and why relationships tend to fail in the transition period from one love to the other. And if an effective relationship, if a really good relationship is there, then you got both. You got both of them, and you can understand it and you can work your way through it. So that was the video. We've come to the end of the video. Thank you very much for watching, guys. What are your thoughts on that? Pop your thoughts in the comment section below. Like my page on Facebook, follow me on Instagram, like this video, click the thumbs up, thumbs up, and subscribe to my channel, guys. Massively appreciate it. Free or Zen, 1 video a week, 1 to 2 videos a week. Let's get it going. Thank you very much. Peace, presence, power to you. Goodbye.